Boom, we're live. Welcome, Ducky and Lazy from ANC. For the people that aren't aware, these two fine gentlemen led Australia's only representative in King of the Seas and had a pretty fantastic showing. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
Thanks so much for the warm welcome, Porky.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. So this was kind of like ANC's debut into COTS. I know you guys took part last season, but this is like the first time that you guys really took charge of it. So can you guys just talk us through like what's the prep for COTS like?
I think well, just an overview. Basically, I've been working with Ducky behind the scenes and for a while around running 1AN and running ANC, and he's been very reliable, I think, in the past, and he's shown himself to be a man of talent, both on and off the court. And that's why I onboarded him to help me manage the COTS team this
Yeah.
time. In terms of preparation, I think there's a lot going through your mind, right? There's what sort of manpower you'll be working with, what sort of tournament lineup you're going to be looking at, really what your bracket, what your team will be facing in the bracket. So there's a lot of those considerations moving into a tournament like this.
Yeah. So you guys made it to second day, which that in itself is a hell of an achievement. You guys made it to groups, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we were aiming for groups 32, group 32s, and we were actually lucky enough to make it through to the round of 16. That was definitely unexpected for us. I think we were about 2 or 3 maps down, on the way out in the round of 32, and then we made a miraculous comeback to make it into the round of 16. I think 9-9 in his Moskva made 2 Rams that game um, against the opponent we were playing.
Yeah. So you guys were, I won't say you guys were pretty fresh faced. You weren't playing with a heap of experience. So do you feel that you guys were kind of playing with house money, so to speak? Like it didn't really matter where you guys play, so to speak. It was more about experience. And do you feel like that in itself is a hell of a prize?
uh,
I think
wait,
Ducky might want to weigh in on this one, given that not sure if the viewers are aware, but last time we ran a Assault 1AN merger, and so we ran some of Assault's more talented players with talent from 1AN. But I think Ducky and I had a vision this time. Did you want to weigh in on that, Ducky?
yeah, but before that, you're live, right, on Twitch?
No,
Are we live?
we're not. This is a pre-recording, so I'll send this out later.
Okay. So, where do I start?
think I think Porky was asking about where we were thinking we were going to place, that we were operating on house money, and that we could have ended up anywhere, but we would have been happy with that. He's believing.
I mean, we're definitely aiming to go as far as we can, but definitely getting so far is a surprise. We have many problems internally, like getting the players used to playing the ships and the map, and also we have to test out many different tactics that we have to use during our actual fights. So actually, we spend a lot of time planning ahead of who plays what and what's the strategy, and the times spent on screams is definitely we took more time playing screams than actual chords, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that we have to do that. That many other teams that is serious about getting in also do that. But yeah, we don't have like all the time in the world, so actually it's quite difficult for us to do this kind of scrims and training.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we actually made this far.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's I guess it's just a testament to show what you guys at 1AN can achieve, because I know because Lazy, you're a part of the leadership in 1AN. I know Ducky, you're pretty highly tied up in it as well. And just seeing the way you guys operate, like you kind of make more with less. Do you know what I mean? Like you mightn't have the most talented players, but you get the maximum production out of all of your players. Is I guess my question is, do you have a secret to that? Can you like?
That's
Well,
very kind. I think Ducky's got a comment here.
I don't know if this what I'm gonna say, but we have to make difficult choices sometimes. So one of the one of the more um ugly things to this is because there's definitely more players that wants to participate than what we can bring into battle. So we have to do elimination, whereby players that can commit more time and show more synergy with the rest of the team will be on the team. That's something we have to spend a lot of time um to 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 sort it out, because like who wants to be practicing but not playing the game, you know?
Yeah,
That's
of
that's,
course.
that's really sad. But
Yeah, I
it's one
think
of the
Ducky's
things
right.
it's one of the things you have to consider, and yeah, this also takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
and yeah, you go on, go on.
Ducky's right. Like, there's no secret. I think we just there's also definitely an ugly side to things if you were to phrase it like that. A lot of decisions that happen in the back rooms, and we were lucky enough to have a few applicants put their hands up for these positions, and I think it's a lot of decisions that you have to make on the way to try and bring these people together to get, like you said before, the most production value out of the players. To look at, hey, maybe player A is really getting along well with player B, but player C, he's got a lot of talent, but there's not that synergy there. So I think knowing your players, knowing what they're good at, knowing their strengths and weaknesses, I think while on paper you don't see that in the tournament on those streams, but there's a lot of backroom planning in regards to that. That
Yeah.
And speaking of planning, though planning and screens does not stop after the first day. So one part is to obviously continue evolving our strats, getting us familiarized with the new strats. Also, actually, we have to do some research on upcoming matches
Yeah.
so that we can adapt to enemies' strats as well. I think this is one of the things that we felt that it worked out in the end.
yeah,
We managed to grasp, at least for some of them, how they deploy.
Mhm.
Even though we might not be able to counter it 100% because of various various other issues, but we think that the time we spend on doing background research is
Hey guys, it's Porky from the future here. So, in this next current part of the podcast, we start talking about how good Vor are. And before you guys start screaming at me in the comments that Vor lost, yes, I know. This was recorded before COTS. Alright, guys, don't forget to like and sub. Enjoy the podcast.
has helped us progress into rankings.
yeah, for sure. Like you try and learn from your competitors, right? You try and learn from even people that are better than you. You watch their games, and this is just part of any sort of esports planning that you do. Is understanding how the enemy operates and seeing if you can use what you have on hand to beat that, or play faster, play better, change the way the game is played so that you can dictate. And I think what you mentioned before, you had a question about what we can do to, you know, use, let's say, 80% and bring out 120%. I think that is in. I have to definitely credit the 1AN community. Um, as you know, 1AN is an Australian World of Warships gaming community, and I think the way that they've managed the community in the past and will continue to do so definitely contributed to our performance in COTS. 1AN is a home for people that like to play WoWs casually, semi-competitively, and in the higher leagues. And I think being able to involve these people of all levels and put them together means that we were able to have access to our own in-house scrims where we could mix and match players of different skill levels, bring them into the scrim, and help our COTS team prepare for the tournament. And I think we had multiple scrims led by um, the senior callers in 1AN, so that really assisted in our end placement in the tournament.
I think that this one surprised me. So other than those players that sign up for course, when we ask for in-house streams, I'm surprised that so many of us in 1AM, so many of them actually came up and helped us to do the stream.
Mm.
Yeah, in place of other screens from the clans that are also participating.
Mm.
Yeah, like it's better. Like we are short on time and we can't find when we can't find any other plans to do streams. 1AN members actually showed up without any rewards and other things. They still spend their time with us for us to practice. I think that's a very good thing about this community.
Yeah, and definitely a big thank you to the 1AN community for what they did, showing up to the scrims like Ducky mentioned. No rewards were offered. They just spend their time of their own volition to help us, and that's what we try to foster in the community in both ANC and 1AN.
Yeah, so can you? So for those of you who don't know, ANC is a program within the 1A community. Can you guys just give us a little background about that? How that came to be, not only a thing, but how you guys have managed that to keep such a tight knit community under two wings. Does that make sense? Did I word that? I worded that okay. Yeah.
You did that pretty well. I think Ducky might be good to voice his opinion as somebody who's recently risen through the ranks due to his talent and also as a player. Maybe you can shed some light into that, Ducky.
Yeah, I'll try my best. I'm not I'm not that familiar of the roots, but I'll try my best. So I think this ANC thing started from the last course where we are still doing the collab with ASOT.
Mm.
We created a banner called ANC for courts. And from there, I think it evolved into not just CODs but clan battles as well. So since wargaming allowed mercenaries in clan battles, we use this opportunity to bring in talents from other clans to assist us into clan battles. I think uh, it's a very it's a new thing that we tried, and I think so far it's working out. We see some really good players from other clans that help us push our rating.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
of course, we use this ANC program for the course this season as well.
yeah, I think Ducky's right on the ball there. Is that we started this ANC thing last COTS, and it was an idea. It was an idea rooted in the fact that with a more mature gaming community, with World of Warships, perhaps we could have been able to set out to create something grand, and that came in the form of ANC, where we wanted to create a home, create a home for players, no matter which clan they're in, whether they're clan or with a clan or clanless, to be able to join in the fun that World of Warships is, because nobody wants to sit in a voice call for 2 hours. I'm not sure if their clan leader is going to put them on, or potentially. I know a lot of clans, especially in the lower leagues, they suffer from manpower shortages, and it's difficult, right? And everybody wants to play WoWs, and I think that's what ANC really is, and then is to create a home for people who have a love of World of Warships and know what a team spirit is.
Hmm.
Knowing that team spirit, putting that talent, potential, and love for the game together, and it's a culmination of that ANC, and I think that sort of stuck in my mind as well as Sherpington, or also known as Logistic Llama, who is essentially the creator behind this brainchild.
Yeah, it it's really quite impressive to see what not just Sherp's created, but what the 1AM community has allowed Sherpa and the leaders of 1AM to create. Because I think it's all well and good for the leaders to have these ideas, but I think the community has to back it and get behind it. And I think it's just really fantastic to see what you guys have achieved, like because it's so different from clan battles, right? In COTS,
Oh yeah,
because
it's
it,
yeah.
wa- it was straight off the back of a clan battle season, right? So like, you guys must have been like thinking about COTS and like preparing for COTS in the middle of clan battles. So
Yeah.
how do you kind of manage that, like that time? Like, do you dedicate like 1 hour to COTS, 1 hour for clan preparation, or
I think it's I think us in the leadership, we like to really focus on one thing at a time, making sure that we're executing correctly on things. So even though a lot of clans might be preparing for COTS beforehand, I think focusing on the now, the present, and making sure that each clan battle sessions we run is enjoyable for everybody, especially the people who contribute their time from other clans. I think that was the most important thing for us. And then we started COTS preparation soon after clan battles. So there was things like taking availability, assessing expressions of interest, and that definitely all came after clan battles. We were 100% trying to push the clan rating as far as we could have before we focused our efforts on COTS 13.
yeah? So you guys ran into some pretty formidable opponents in your COTS run. Are there any that kind of stick out as like that's really impressed you as far as not only a preparation standpoint but an execution of their plans?
Well, the obvious the obvious choice is Vor. Definitely, we can see that they did research on our strat just
Mm,
by looking at what they banned.
Yeah,
I didn't think any other clients actually looked into our replays.
mm,
Yeah, they spend, they must have dedicated members that do this research and then report back to adapt to their strat. So example, because our lineup is mainly Ragnar, they banned it, and because Ragnar is a direct counter to muscle, they ban it and run muscle instead. So like we have no, we got counter strat basically.
yes, I
Yeah.
think that really stuck out to us. When Ducky and I were looking through the strats for Vor, not only did their ability to play different styles of World of Warships, so in the first round against Vor, we saw them play a sort of traditional attrition lineup where they ran 3 Marceaus, but it was a heavy cruiser sort of lineup, and then they switched that up with Hotspot, and I think that just goes to show the ability, both a shot caller and the actual people working behind the scenes for Vor. I think that after that loss on Hotspot, that showed to me there's people looking behind the scenes, preparing these things, so then the shot caller can execute on the day. So there's no way Vor is a 1-man, 2-man, or even 3-man operation.
Mhm.
They're definitely a clan that's prepared for everything, and that means at least a 5-man operation, I'm sure.
Yeah, that must be a bit of a It must leave you with like a kind of good feeling that such an accomplished clan like Vor are taking, without being disrespectful, a relative no-name clan like ANC so serious in COTS. Like that must be kind of a good feeling in a way.
Well, definitely. Like when I saw that ban, I kind of like laughed because I mean from the get go, I don't think we can win against Vor that's really prepared. But seeing they ban the one ship that we rely on,
Mm.
sort of makes me feel that they somehow took us a little bit more seriously than like maybe a Gale clan. Like they bothered banning something that we use.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ye-
and it's not just Vor that was in there as well. There were some really top tier Hurricane clans in there, as well as High Typhoon clans in there. So our very first match was against NF2CN. Um, and they've been a Hurricane clan for as long as I can remember, even before I came back to this game. And you know, that victory against them was definitely very sweet. As well as the loss against WSGDM. They've been High Typhoon for a while and just couldn't snatch victory from them. But we did manage to win against a few of these high tier clans, which was very, very sweet, both in the qualifier stage, the group, as well as the round of 32.
Yeah, of course. So where do you see ANC going next? I mean, obviously that you guys have a clan battle season coming up. Um, but as far as COTS goes, what are your expectations moving forward? Are you just looking for more experience, more exposure?
Um, I think we really want to, in terms of COTS, bring up the players this season. Hopefully, have a successful clan battles season 15, the return of Shimakaze, and bring that over into the next COTS. I really want to crack that round of 8. Sorry, in the next COTS.
Mm,
I think we've got the people to do it. It's just, I guess we'll see whether we can do it or not. But eyes on the prize, from what I can see.
return of the Shimakaze, hey?
Yeah.
We were doing so well. We were so serious for so long. Random. um. So let's move forward here. Let's put our prediction hats on for later on tonight. So this is being recorded before the international finals tonight. So if you were to guess, having a look at the brackets so far and how they've unfolded, where's kind of your money to take it out? Who do you think's going to win it moving forward?
Look, in terms of brackets, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. There's definitely some top teams in there. What about you? What do you think? Before you asked, so I guess it's only fair that you answer first.
You want me to
Yeah.
answer?
Yeah.
Oh jeez, I can't go past Vor. I honestly can't go past Vor. I'm not just being an SCA homer. Like just the way they're looking at the moment. They look unbeatable. In their last game on their C finals, playing against -1S, their the contemporary rival, and I think that's pretty fair to say. The last game to close them out, they played the possibly the most bizarre strategy I've ever seen, and they just made it work from a losing position. Out.
Sorry, you can go on.
No, it's okay. You go. You go.
I for one think that there's no way you can analyze how Vol plays because they can play everything.
Yeah.
They've got
And-
every strat under the sun.
And they for this, I think they have the edge of not being able to be analyzed, while the other clans that are in this bracket currently have a restriction on what they can play.
Yep.
I feel that they are just really, really prepared.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we've seen them play the contemporary style of Moscovas and Des Moines and Ohio's with Darings and stuff, playing a very typical way of playing, right? But we've also seen Marceau's, Carbarosks, Napolis, like these really memey, gimmicky things, and they've just made it work time and time again.
Yeah, the Vor team has a good understanding of the capability of each ship. So they've been around since the very first few seasons of clan battles, and I think being able to being ahead of the ball. That's what Vor is essentially. I like you have my money on Vor. Having looked at the strategies and the way each top tier team plays, it shows to me that there's not really any other team out there like Vor.
Yeah.
The reason why is they're just the trendsetter. Unfortunately, that is the case. Unfortunately for the other clans, even against our loss against X team, I think we looked at their strats extensively, as we did with Vor, and the way X team played was far more predictable. Exactly what we were looking at. Unfortunately, we lost a few trades in the first few maps, so we couldn't bring it back. But the way that Vor played, despite us looking at counter strats and employing them perfectly on the day, shows to me that they are so ahead of the ball that I can't say there's another clan out there that holds a light to Vor.
Wait, let me see. Is Vol the only one that they can't predict? Because I remember every other clan that we looked into actually played similar to or exactly the same to what we have predicted.
Yeah, Ducky's exactly right. Like, there's no secret. There's no secret. It's just a lot of good preparation, especially for COTS. The format of COTS requires your team to have extremely good preparation skills, to have everybody lined up correct, not only the manpower lined up, but also your strategy lined up. And I don't think we were able to really. From a strat making perspective, the high tier teams, Cats, X Team, even ZLS, which we won that group stage against, they're very good teams. They're employing very high high end strats, but there's something missing. Something missing. They're able to be counted. They're able to be, and they do bleed like the rest of us plebs. But Vor is just miles ahead. Miles ahead.
We from the last course to this course we kept losing to ZLS or
Yes.
which they were named previously. But
Mm.
because this time we did research on the lineup, the second time we met them we actually crushed them. Even though we have probably less skilled players on our team, our strat is able to overcome that and give us the victory and push us into the playoffs.
Yeah, not to mention ZLS had an extremely difficult tournament bracket as well. The new name was actually new to me, but the previous name was OH, which we actually played against in the qualifiers, and they played a magnificent game on Loot Plus last time, and unfortunately for us, they managed to edge out a win. But I think having moved into the courts with new talent on the team, different people organizing, and the passion of all our players that participated both in the in-house scrims and on the team. I think we were able to overcome them by looking at their strats critically and thinking, what can we do here to best a, a team that is so talented? And I think that goes to show just how ahead Vor is ahead of the ball. Is that
Yeah.
whilst we were able to overcome that loss against OH, now named ZLS, I didn't really take that against Vor just yet.
Yeah. It's Vor's video game. We're just allowed to play it. Let's be honest. Like...
Well, there's always a top spot, and if somebody's able to think outside the box and get themselves that pretty looking prize at the end, all credits to them.
Oh,
But they're still the second and third place.
yeah. I figured out how to beat Vor. You want to hear it? I figured it out.
Yeah,
It's easy.
yeah.
It's easy.
I need it.
Ready? You ask one of their players to use their ASW. Use their ASW.
You'd have to have a really deep pockets.
Yeah, deep
do it.
pockets. Yeah. So TWA, I hope you're listening before tonight. No, I hope you don't. You get me in trouble for fixing.
Look, that's another thing that I think we really benefit from in ANC is that we're not afraid to play on the different servers. We've had a lot of flack in the past about, oh, you're playing NA, NA is easier, or the time slot is far easier. You can get better easy matches. It's easy elo. And what these teams don't realize is that although let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and let's say they're correct for this video game, just like anything else in life, operates on a bell curve. You've got the majority of clans and players and where they perform, and let's say these guys are right. Let's say they perform slightly less well in clan battles than other Asian clans. But I guarantee you, those top few clans on NA, those top few clans on those other servers, they're just as good as those clans on Asia, and they're not to be trifled with. They're very, very strong, talented teams out there on every single server. And each game, especially when you get into mid Typhoon, high Typhoon, is an uphill battle. They're very talented players out there and teams.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's a blessing. I think being able to play on these different servers and play against these different teams, I think hopefully that helps prepare us for the next courts as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not like in clan battles, someone like 07, they're not really that different to Vor or TWA or Smile, like these kind of dynastic clans from these other servers. Clans that have been around forever, been Hurricane forever. Like there's probably not that much difference playing against them. Like they might do things differently, but at the end of the day, the end result, it's probably not going to be that different, really. And that's why I think COTS is such an amazing opportunity to see really where the differences are. Like, yeah, we saw an all Asia finals in COTS last season, but I think that was the aberration. I don't think the C meta is that much further ahead than NA, for example, or EU or Russia.
Oh yeah, like there's going to be top thinkers on each server, and that's also the beauty of it, right? Like you get different people who have different thoughts about the game, and as this tournament's been called before, like it's been called a server clash, and that's part of what makes COTS beautiful, I think, as a tournament because you get to see these different ideologies come together, and you get to test their mettle against each other, and I'm always in favor of something.
What? I think you dropped off. Oh, hey,
I do apologize. Technical difficulties on mine. No, I was saying always in favor of seeing something different. Too much homogeneity is can get repetitive, and it's good to see the different ideologies.
I mean, I don't have much comment. Lazy basically said it all, but I have one thing to say, which I think only the Asia clan has, which is the amount of tryhards out there in Asia. I think Vor is one of them. And I think ever since the French destroyers get released, Muscle Clap, I think Vor one of the highest big clan in Asia actually plays it the best from what I can see. And Muscle, I don't know if they're gonna get Muscle banned, but Muscle is definitely something they as nature shit they use. I just feel that they're so try hard and they can really do anything. And they kind of show it these recent courts. I don't know, it's just an Asia thing inside me. It's telling me that Vor's gonna win it again.
Yeah, I mean, if you play against Vor, the first thing you have to do is I think you have to ban I think if you play against Vor, you should be able to ban 3 or 4 ships. Change my mind.
So you can limit them into playing
Yeah.
something linear.
Yeah, you're only allowed to play Nevskys and Gearings and a battleship. That's it.
You might as well just start chipping away at the numbers too.
Yeah, you can only play 4 people. Why not? I feel like we're going to get a lot of hate from like the other servers. You're just jacking off 4 because they play on your server.
No, that's absolutely not like the case here. I think we've seen a lot of 07. I think Potato Quality, one of probably the more renowned World of Warships YouTubers out there right now. He puts out a lot of good content representing 07, and you see the way they play. They're very talented people and very organized people as well. And you can see that carry through in the way they play World of Warships. Um, and they're the top team on, arguably the top team on NA for a reason. So it'll be interesting to see. But we'll see, right? That's what these things are for.
Yeah. So I made a statement on one of the broadcasts, and I just want your response, both of your responses to this. I posited that King of the Sea is the purest form of World of Warships because you see battleships tanking, Stalingrad's radaring, Daring's capping. You don't see 16-kilometer Klebairs farming from the eye line. Can I just kind of get your response, both of your responses to that statement?
So you can go first.
Yeah, sure. Look, as like I know you're a very experienced carrier player yourself, so I'm sure you have 2 or 3 opinions about that statement, Porky. But look, I think the definition of pure has been so watered down and so diluted as of late. Doesn't really mean much in terms of the purest form of World of Warships because uh, something that I really like about World of Warships lately, something that brought me back to the game and made me stay is the amount of content um, the developers are putting through. So when I left this game, maybe in 2017, a long time ago now, um, all you see was Zhao, Hindenburg, Moskva, Henry. Those were actually the only 4 cruiser picks you could pick. And I think they've done a really good job of diversifying the game. And I think that's what's really lovely to see. Like, I can bring something into random battles that I don't necessarily would bring into COTS. Like these 16 km clevers, like there's an enjoyment to that. There's a reason why that's in the game, and being able to try different things is why Vor. We've been talking about Vor a lot. It's why Vor is at the top.
Mm.
It's because they've tried everything under the sun. That's what makes this video game great right now. It's because you can try a lot of different things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can play whatever, like, especially like in random battles, you can still get good production out of these off meta ships, like Zhao or like Henry IV. Boats that in competitive, or maybe not Henry IV, but you know what I mean? Like, you probably wouldn't bring them. I think you're 100% right. Did you want to go, Ducky?
Yeah.
Sorry, we skipped over you, dude.
All right. Your question is, can you say the question again?
Yeah, so
I kind of lost track.
on one of the streams, on one of the casts of King of the Sea, I posited that King of the Sea is the purest form of World of Warships because you see all the ships fulfilling their role. Like in randoms, you're not really going to see a Kremlin, for example, tanking for his Des Moines because he's a good friend and wants to support his teammate. No, you're going to see that Kremlin kited away spamming HE.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious why. Because of carriers, for one.
all right.
Right? Carriers recently subs, but I think the main problem is player skills are not there right now. HE spamming is way easier. Tanking doesn't feel rewarding for them. So they do what they feel is best for their enjoyment and probably for the team, which is to spam HE, see big numbers popping out on their screen, make them feel like they did well. That's how random battles is right now. I mean, obviously there's still good players trying to make the game, but there are far more not so good players. They are not that skilled in game. That's why we are seeing this meta of issue spamming and seeing the back. And those more skilled those high level ships that need more skills like Minotaur, what other ships? Des Moines, I think Des Moines is hard to play in this meta. Those ships can't really be the normal skilled players in the game right now can't use it to its full potential. So like you may see a good player use gearing to smoke out his teammates in an ideal scenario, but you don't see that in randoms. In fact, you don't even see gearings in game because there are much better ships to do farming.
Yeah.
Like muscles.
Yeah.
It's a clear example. It's a HE spamming ship that's fast and hard to hit. It's easy to play. That's kind of ships the player base likes now. Conqueror Thunder is another example.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it's kind of obvious why, but yeah, that's how it is. That's why I participated COTS in the first place, because we can actually play the ships that we want to play, like playing to its potential and not just following what the meta and randoms require.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Just wanted to touch on what Daiki was saying is that, like I said before, pure is a very, very vague word nowadays, but yes, in COS I can say that you see players employing these ships to in the way they're meant to, and I think that's why COS is also beautiful in its own right. It's different from randoms. It's definitely a different beast, but I think there's enjoyment to be had from both random play right now as well as playing in a tournament like COTS.
Yeah. So you guys are obviously very experienced clan battle players. You guys made it literally on the doorstep to Hurricane. Like probably the closest you can be in Hurricane without actually getting into Hurricane. And you let's be honest, you had a pretty rough draw in COTS. You probably could have made it to round of 8 if you didn't run into Vor. which was pretty sad. I
Mm.
cried a little bit when I saw the draw. I was like, fuck. Because
Well-
I believe in you guys. I'm like, you guys can fucking do it. And then I saw the draw. I was like, but not that. But probably not that. So my question is, what would mean more to the both of you? A COTS championship or making it to Hurricane, like deep Hurricane?
Definitely, like clan battles is more important to us. We always take priority of the community, than just a ranking in courts that really don't amount to much, except to maybe some fame.
Mm.
I think the community is just way more important. So if let's say clan battles and courts come together again, we are going to put 100% of our time into clan battles, managing the players, the schedule, so that everybody gets to play and we progress into Hurricane, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ducky's right. Just wanted to again touch on something that he said is that it's about the players, it's about the community at the end of the day. I think being able to see whether it's the purple tag or that placing in cots, at the end of the day, we're here because of the people. We're here for the people, and without an incredible community and an incredible team, um, don't think we would be here doing it. I think personally, for me, it doesn't matter whether it's the purple tag or the placement in courts, as long as my team has had a good time, the community has had a great time playing clan battles. That's what's rewarding to me.
Mm.
But of course, one of our goals is to train up players during clan battles, so we have more options, more players on board for courts, and we can push even further than before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think from a personal standpoint, like I haven't had much to do with COT. Like I helped out with the 1AN scrims, but look, I
That was
mean,
much appreciated.
yeah, look, it's my pleasure. But look, I'll be honest, dude. There's just something special about that purple tag. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
fuck, dude.
it's just one win away.
Oh, dude. Dude, I'll be honest. We lost that game, and I went and had a cry. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, fuck, man. I was also happy though, because I was like, I don't have to play this stupid boat anymore.
Oh my god.
This season is definitely a bit special.
Yeah.
And it was refreshing too. Like we've played so many, I'm sure, high tier games outside of clan battles as well as in clan battles. Playing something different in the form of T6 was definitely refreshing for me, and I definitely loved playing in the East there for a lot of the season. But something for wargaming actually. Next time, I think an idea would be running a split season. So if you're going to run a clan battle season for a, let's say, less popular tier, you could run half the season in tier 6 and run half the season in tier 7.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good
putting some
idea.
variety there. I think they're starting to get on top of their shit, so to say, for clan battles bans, making sure that those bans come in early. There's not 7 petros on day one in this CB season, the return of Shimakaze. So I think they're getting on top of running their game, and something to take into consideration for another time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that Wargaming are banning ships in clan battles is such a good idea, because I remember in the tier 9 season when they first brought it out, I was in a different clan. We legitimately ran 2 Georges and 5 Alaskas. Yeah, yeah,
Oh my lord.
yeah, and it was just it was so absurd. I was like, you can't have this in the meta. Like that cannot be a thing.
Yeah, right. How do you work through that HP? Where is the heterogeneity
Yeah,
that doesn't exist?
yeah. How do you push into 5 radars that last a minute?
Mm. You can't. You just can't. And I'm actually something I really want to see them do is actually put ship bans in place.
Really?
I don't know.
How
Yeah,
would you work that though?
they would have to rehaul the system. I think. Um, I'm hoping that the graphics update they're doing this week is only a first step for the roadmap to greatness for this game. Because it truly is a great game. There's unfortunately, I don't know if I could say unfortunately or fortunately, but there's no game like this. There's no competitor, and so I'm hoping that they're working on bigger things like molding the game in a way that would allow for competitive bans. So potentially, what I'd like to see happen is, um, I used to play and manage a Rainbow Six Siege team.
Yeah.
Um, how the ban system works is you go with a map ban, although that's not really necessary in World of Warships. So I'd like to see after the map ban, it goes to an operator ban in Siege, where you can each teams will ban 2 operators. I don't think World of Warships is up to banning potentially 4 ships a match yet, but would like to see a ban system implemented.
Yeah. Do you know what you could theoretically do? You could
Mm,
theoretically, drop into a game, see your 7 players ready up, get in the queue,
mm,
you get mashed up
yeah,
against a similar league clan, and then
yeah.
you're shown what map you're playing, and then you can ban ships and then pick your ships.
Oh yes. Oh, that's definitely a good idea. Something I missed is that knowing which map you're going to play beforehand means that no, you're not restricted to running that one lineup for every single map. Because over the past 1 or 2 seasons, where I've started to get involved in um, strategy creation for the team, um, is I'm looking at my strategy. I'm looking at it. I'm saying it works for North. It works for Northern Waters. Works for Sleeping Giant. And then let's say the fourth map is Hotspot, and I'm like, but I would really like to put a light cruiser here in this position because I can see the potential of this working out,
Yeah.
and I can't do that because I don't know what map I'm going to be playing beforehand.
Yeah.
That more than anything, I want to see. I want to see. I want to be able to see. This is the map I'm playing. This is the lineup we're going to bring.
hmm Yeah,
I think that's
it's
a
a
really good
great
point,
idea.
Porky.
Great idea, Porky. Great job, mate. You did it.
I think a lot of self affirmation is good. I definitely need to pick it up on some of that.
Yeah. I think everyone does. I think it's just a general good idea. Unless you're like, one of those self-absorbed narcissists that, you believe that your shit doesn't stink. I think, as long as you're not one of those people, you should probably like
Yeah,
compliment yourself some more.
I think it's important. I think
Yeah.
a mate of mine once told that something he likes to take on board is focusing on what he's good at. To not look at the bad, to make sure to know it's there in the back of his mind, but to look at what you're good at, and that's what you're going to build upon because it's a self-fulfilling sort of mentality. You look at what you're bad at, and if you keep thinking about that, you're probably not going to get anywhere because you're just delving on, I'm bad at X, Y, Z. But if you grow and if you take onto something you're good at, then something beautiful can potentially blossom. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And if you work really, really hard, you might be
mm.
half as good as Vor. Because they're just computers.
It all goes back to the Vol question, doesn't it?
Dude, because it's just an unanswerable question. How do you beat Vor?
Right, yeah. And
Like, the entire World of Warships community, that's the question we're all asking. How do you beat Vor?
I think
I'm still confident in my ASW idea. That's a great idea.
oh my goodness, if you have deep enough pockets, all right, I
Yeah.
reckon you could You could be like, hey.
Well, I
Um,
mean, one way we can beat for is to run something they don't expect. But doing that also sabotages ourselves, a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
We also have no idea how to run it.
Oh, I mean, this is
Yeah.
true.
But I think unconventional strat is what gives you a team a chance to win against them. Because
Yeah.
they're used to fighting against something they expect. They have a lot of experience in fighting like lots of different strats. But if you run something they don't expect, they might panic just a little bit to give us a bit of more advantage.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, right? Like, if you try and just out trade Vor with mechanical skill, like, good luck. But I think, I think that's a great point. Like, if you try and, think outside the box. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
Yeah. Carbarosks, man, I'm telling you. Carbarosks.
I mean, you're halfway there if you can create a strat to counter strat or even trade against full, but you're not quite there yet. They're just so, like Ducky said, so practiced against playing on all sorts of stuff, all sorts of strategies, whether it's attrition, hard push, unconventional, whatever you throw at them, they've seen it before. They're the ones who made that shit up.
Yeah.
But one strategy would be to just roll a dice and see where it goes.
You reckon just send it? Just see what happens.
I think seriously, I think that's what you're gonna have to do. Like playing against full, you're rolling some sort of dice. You better to roll a dice than to probably do something you think is calculated and conventional because they're just gonna undo you.
Yeah. Oh, see, do you know what you could do? You could just say to your 9 players, play like a random game and just go. No shot calling, nothing, just play however. Because they can't pick apart a strat if there's no strat, right? So smart.
Hmm. Look, I think if you can't beat them, join them, and we're definitely going to be taking a lot of what they're doing in these cots to hoping to onboard some of their strategies and see if we can refine them and make them even better.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned that you did a lot of film, like watching. My goodness, what was that? I know
You're
you
gonna have
mentioned.
to edit that one out.
Yeah, I've just turned Ducky down because something's going on with his microphone or something.
I
I
think
know.
there's a steam train running through his background.
I think he is a steam train. It's fixed itself, maybe. All right.
The Vermont train does not stop.
You're on a timer, by the way. 15 minutes. Okay, it's all good. So yeah, I think my last question for tonight is: I think you mentioned that you did a lot of film watching games in preparation. How many games did you rewatch and analyze your own play?
Analyze it and play.
Yeah, like see what you could have done better. Like, hey, I think we made a mistake at 9 minutes 40 by rerouting this guy to here.
I think it's really impossible to improve without doing that, and for all these losses, we definitely look at what we did wrong, what we could have done better. For example, I think that was I spent I was in between work, and so I had a bit of time on that second week, of course. And I told Ducky I spent 3 hours this morning just looking at what we did wrong in IAR against IAR on that map on North, I think it was. Yes, 3 hours just to look at how the strat works, what I fucked up as a shot caller, what I did to fuck up as a shot caller, and how I can beat somebody or IAR if they run that against me again.
Mm.
3 hours just to
That's
look at one strat.
That's crazy. Did you just look at your replay, or did you get the replay from all 9 members? Like, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I had to look through some of the members' replays as well as my own. I have to admit, I made a mistake there. We had all the assets there. And I have to say, big shout out to the guys that were defending on the A cap. I think that was led by Krynek. They did a great job holding out that IAR offense with the double Venezia push with the Ragnar Vampire. I had all the assets there. I just needed to make a commitment to a push, and unfortunately, I did not make that call that day. And that was one of the reasons why we unfortunately lost that match.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, my friends, it has been a genuine pleasure. Best of luck in the upcoming clan battle season and COTS moving forward. Yeah, you guys don't stream. This is so bizarre. Usually all my guests are streamers, so I like plug their shit, but yeah, I don't really know what to say. Guys, go like me on Twitch, I think. Let's say that, yeah. Don't forget to like and sub,
Yeah.
guys.
Like, subscribe, follow, donate.
Donate.
Well, I
Actually,
mean, the one thing you can say is to check out our committee. You might
Mm.
like it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
might link the 1am Discord because you can just come out and hang out as long as you're a good guy or girl. Or girl. Got to be inclusive. I'll get cancelled otherwise.
Yeah, no, just an open invitation to anybody who's, like-minded, who loves a good game of World of Warships, know what teamwork and a positive team spirit is about, always welcome to come by Discord. The ANC team is run through the 1am Discord for easy access. So there's that opportunity to come and join the ANC team, or if you want, like I said earlier tonight, 1am is always has open arms for everybody. There's a home. It's a home for anybody playing WoW casually, competitively. We always welcome people with open arms. So
Just the last thing
that.
before we go, guys. I'm currently raising money for Movember, so I'll have a link down in the description. Even a couple of dollars, would be fantastic. But yeah, cheers, guys.
Thank you
I'll,
so much,
Thank you
Porky.
for your
yeah.
It's lovely to chat.
Yeah, man. Anytime.